there's so many thoughts dancing around in my head because there's no right way or probably wrong way to talk about your mom when she's passed away. Like, nothing I can say is going to do her justice. And so I'm going to start with a moderate insult. No, not that, but not at all. But I remember one time, years ago, someone told me in a moment of frustration with my mom, "You're going to be late to your own funeral." And my mom, for her whole life, not whole life, but my whole life, has told me, I want to dedicate my body to science, medical research. She said, somebody has to learn. There's so much going on here with my brain and all the various injuries and things I've had going on. Somebody can benefit from this. And so we were able to dedicate and donate her body to science, and then they take the body and then they will eventually cremate the remains. And we were supposed to have the remains, but she's late for her own funeral. she wasn't able to make it, but they will be coming eventually to Jessica when they're...
but she is there.
She is, absolutely. So about a month ago, I happened to be watching Benjamin Button, and I really enjoyed that movie. And in it, there was a line that hit me, and I became emotional at hearing it. And I had to look it up so I could say it correctly. And if you've not seen Benjamin Button, I highly encourage it. It's a great movie where he ages in reverse. And this guy told Benjamin, we're meant to lose the people we love. How else would we know how important they are to us? And unfortunately for my mom, I didn't realize how important she was to me until we lost her. I didn't recognize how strong she was until we lost her. I didn't know a lot. I didn't know how much I relied on her for the weekly phone calls, or bi-weekly, or a couple times a week driving home from work, where I thought I was doing her a favor by talking to her while she was in her chair. But really the favor was to me, to be able to pour myself into this woman who had unconditional love. And those thoughts, came to be. And I was trying to think of different Bible verses that would connect her life. And the one that I found that I felt really tied things together well was out of Romans 12:12. And it says, "Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer." Be joyful in hope. She was so joyful amidst her pain. Patient in affliction, absolutely. And faithful in prayer. Most of you in here know, I bet she's prayed for almost all of you in here and told you, I'm praying for you. And she did. She had a terrible memory. But the things I asked her to pray for, she would ask how those were going every time we talked on the phone. So the memory did not fade when it came to prayer requests in my life. And I just have so many memories. I was like, what memory could just kind of put it all together to show the love she had, the courage she had, the spunk she had, the humor. She was totally cool with being the butt of jokes. And she would just continue to play it up. We've all seen that. And so this was the memory that I thought kind of typified who she was. And many of you have heard this story. It happened right out here in this pool. A couple of years ago, my daughters were trying to learn how to dive. And my mom was in a walker, not in a walker, but had a walker. And she really wasn't very engaged in what we did. She couldn't come to the beach, she couldn't do different things, but she really wanted to go out to the pool. And so she got herself out there with the walker. And there's quite a few people at the pool. And the girls are kind of, falling into the water. And my mom pushes the walker aside and walks up to the pool and bends her knees and just dives in. And we're just like, wow. This is like, like Jesus and the paralytic. I'm like, what's happening? And our jaws dropped, but then they really dropped when she swam over to the ladder. She didn't have a swimsuit. She wasn't planning on this. And she pulls herself out, and everything falls down, and she's just out there for everybody to see at the pool. And we're just like, this woman who loves her grandkids so much and is overcoming so much, and she does this, and then there's the hilarity of who she is. And she didn't know, right? Like, Mom! And so we had her do it again so we could record it this time. Not that part, but the dive. And we have that memory, obviously, with the phone. And there are just so many other memories. But her legacy, and I'll wrap this up. Her legacy for me is tied up in a Bible passage that is often used at weddings. And the Lord commanded us to love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your strength. And love your neighbor as yourself. And she did. Growing up, our house was always open to everybody. And she was a mother to so many of my friends. And some of them are here. And I just thought about 1 Corinthians 13 and love. And was she perfect? No. We have a tendency to deify people in moments like this. And I'm not trying to do that. But my goodness, if she didn't show, not just me, but so many other people, love through these attributes. And I'm just going to read it slowly. And I feel like her legacy to me is to just live this life for others. Not just my kids, not just the people who are easy to love, but everybody. And I can give you, we could talk for an hour or two about examples of all of these, and I'm not going to. I'm just going to wrap it up with this. Romans 13, again, many of you have heard this. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. It keeps no record of wrongs. Jessica and I wept when we looked over my mom's body after she passed. And we just thought about how many times we were impatient with her and wronged her. She kept no record of those wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. Romans 13, love is my mom's legacy to me and Jessica and my kids. And many of you have interacted with her as well through those moments. And so, again, I could talk for a long time, and I'm not going to. But thank you for coming. I'm going to open it up to anybody who wants to speak, and we'll have the teacher delay. Like, we can have some moments of silence while we wait as people think about it and muster up the courage to talk. No pressure. If you don't speak, it does not mean that you didn't love my mom. You're here. You gave up hours and hours of your Sunday to drive home in traffic for many of you. And that means the world to us. The fact that you're here is honoring to us and to her. So thank you again for being here. So with that, I'm going to pass my phone to Deacon, and